And hello, welcome to the Animation Dojo. I'm looking for my glove. My name is Pedro, and I've been an animator for 20 years. I've been an animation teacher for a little bit over 12 years. So, yeah, we are here to teach you guys how to animate. So, I don't know. I'm not like one for big introductions. So today we're tackling a very exciting exercise coming from the bouncing ball, the bowling ball, the leap, the blade of grass. Now it's the first time we're gonna really tackle a character, and it's a flour sack. So let's just share this right now. Here you can see my face here. Yeah. So what you gonna end up doing? I mean, I did a barn as a background, but the background doesn't really matter. What you really need to do is a flour sack that will basically anticipate the jump, make the jump, and then react to the jump. So the principle we are focusing on today is anticipation, action, reaction. Every action in animation, as opposed to real life, needs to be shown because I mean this is basically a show, right? So you anticipate the action so the audience know that something's going to happen. In real life, it's not that pronounced, but it really helps in animation. And basically, really good examples of like exaggerated anticipation, action, reaction sequences. You will find them in Warner Brothers, Bugs Bunny, Taz, all that really cool Warner Brothers shorts from the 40s and 50s. So what you're gonna end up doing in this exercise is this. So you see, your character will anticipate, jump, fall, and react. Right. So going back to the prior exercise we've done, which would be the the bouncing ball and the blade of grass, you see there's a clear line of action, which is, you know, the sack traversing to the air, and the overlapping action and follow through you will find in the little tassel things that the sack has. So be very like careful to add that into your design, right? So how do we start this? Let's just get rid of this and get rid of this. I had a so right before you start doing your line of action and how to design your animation, you have to basically understand your character. In this case, it's the flour sack. So what we're looking for here, it's two masses. Let me just change to a more to an interface more akin to drawing. So you have two masses. You have the upper mass and the lower mass. Right? Let's make this very light. So you have the upper mass and the lower mass. And if you draw through the frame, you gotta treat them as spheres, not circles, right? So once you get these two masses, you can add your flour sack to it. So you see, it's something that should look like this. Why do we need these two masses? It's because we have to learn how to place and move the upper mass in relationship to the lower mass. And what do I mean by this? For example, if I want to make the flour sack bending forward, you have something that looks like this, and then you have the lower mass behind it. So when you finalize the drawing, you get something like this happening, right? And that way, just take your time, just practicing making different poses. Maybe you want to make the flour sack like twisting in the air. Right, like allow your imagination to just fly. Let me just use the tassel to help with the orientation here. So this way we'll have like a line cutting in here. So you see different things, but it's always just practicing what your flour sack is gonna do. And also, this would be like the first time you'll be doing a post sheet. So uh, in animation, form follows function. So your design should be made in accordance to what you want the character to do. So in this case, we need two masses to be able to do this game, and we need the tassels to allow allow our character to show follow through us. The tassels would let us know where the sack is going, right, and where it's coming from because of the orientation of the little tassels. You see, just go right ahead and maybe you can start like doing a little bit of acting, like how would the flower sack say hello to somebody, like if they see it from across the street. You know, it's the same principle as you would do with a character. You do a post sheet to test the limits. Yeah, test the limits of your character, right? So have a mask here. Yeah, just different poses. Maybe this is like the flower sack projecting itself into the air. So the lower mass is gonna be in front of the upper mass here. So when we do the line will cut. The lower mass will cut into the space of the upper mass. You see, so you can clearly show what's in front and what's behind, right? Uh, yeah, guys, like the normal days I'm gonna be streaming. The class is gonna be Tuesdays and Thursdays, but there was a power outage yesterday at my. I live in the mountains, so yeah, there was a power outage, so I couldn't stream yesterday. But yeah, normal is gonna be Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we're gonna like jam on Saturdays. So if you guys want to follow the classes, that's gonna be the schedule. So yeah, just I mean, feel one page or a couple of pages, as many as you need, so you can understand like the limitations of your flour sack and what it can do. So you see, so once you get that, let's get rid of this. Then I need you to plan your line of action. In this case, I have one that's already finished, which would be this, but that's kind of confusing, right? So let's do one from scratch to see what we need to. So, well, how do we need to approach this? So your line of action, it's basically going to be a parable, but there's going to be a lot of poses, right? It's going to be just an arc that looks something like this. So here you're going to have an idle pose of the sack, right? The sack is gonna like squash to just like coiling itself to jump. So how do we achieve that? Let's do something a very distinct color here now, like a purple. So now you can do something like maybe uh okay, let's say he's gonna jump and just like twist in the air. So his anticipation is gonna bring one tassel here as he's going down. Remember, trying to keep the volume. So he's squashing, so you give him a little bit more volume to the sides. You know, more volume to the sides. to compensate from the fact that it's getting shorter. So it would be like the same mass. So remember that. So he's going down, and then you got to plan your timing. Like how many poses I need from position one, which is this one, to, or let's say position A, not position one, position A to position B, and that's where this little chart comes into play, because you can plan ahead. Like maybe he is going like from the idle pose, you're gonna favor the the coiling pose, because that will give you like a little slow down, like he's grabbing momentum. So let's just say we're gonna do 6 drawings from A to B. So we got A, B. We go, okay, we got one in the middle, 2, 3, 4. Let's say one in the middle, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way we'll get like a, like a spring, like, reserving energy to just shoot out, right? So how would that look like? This pose A, looks like this, right? So pose B, that looks like this. This chart tells you that most of the poses are going to look more like pose B than pose A. For example, if I go here, let's create another. Yeah, I know I might not be making any sense, but it's better to show you than to talk about it. So we're talking about 6 drawings. We got 1 pose A, right? Let's do it on 2s to not make it that confusing. So we got 2, and pose B would be here. Right? For example, if we know it's 6, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and B would be pose 7, right? So just say at our middle point would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we gotta move a little bit more. Be 1, 2, 3. Here, 7. We can turn on the onion skin here. Drawing 7 could be like around this position here. And as always, it's really it's a good practice for you to just like uh, make approximations of how your poses are gonna look like. Like I've done this so many times that I don't really like need to do it that much. But yeah, it's good practice. Like what I was doing with the filling the page with poses, just do that. And here, let's see, it's coming from here. So adjust the volumes here because I lost a little bit of volume here. Something like this. There we go. So okay, pose 4, it's not working for me because if you see the progression, like this is actually like going a little bit backwards. So feel free to adjust as you go. Like don't marry yourself to your poses, because normally the drawings will lead you, right? So at this stage, we're not really cleaning up, so nothing is set in stone. So just feel free to adjust as you go. So you see, now we're getting a good anticipation. Here, we can go closer. And the last one is going to be very close. There we go. Oops. There we go. Should look something like this. You see? Goes from the idle position and then it coils just to shoot up. So let's turn this on. So now that you have this, you have the coil position, which would be B here. And then we're gonna do the animation all the way to the middle of the jump, which would be by gravity would be you're applying force from the ground up, and then as it progresses up, it's going to start losing force, which will make your character basically lose momentum. So remember, in the first, hey, what's up, Art? What's up, Roy? Uh, in the first exercise, we were doing like the bouncing ball. Remember, we saw like momentum with timing and spacing. So when you lose momentum, your drawings are going to be closer because it's going slower. If you want it to go faster, you need more space. So that will make what? Again, from B, we shoot out really fast. And we go maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drawings we have here. From B to C. Our drawing C would be our character mid-spin in the air. All right, so here we got the tassels going this way and the tassels going this way. Right? So how would that look like? So if we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have 7 drawings here. So this is drawing 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is drawing 12. So C would be drawing 12. I hope I'm making sense. Like if I say something crazy, just let me know. Because I know I get lost sometimes. So how would that make the positions here? So we got drawing 8 would be like around here as it shoots out. 9, 10. Actually, no. Is see, this is 12. 11 should be really close to 12. More space. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Yeah, 12, 11, 10, 11, 12. There we go. So, okay. So, how would that look like? Let's bring this down because we need this as a guide. Let's bring this down a bit. Okay, so drawing 8 should look something along the lines of it's shooting out. So remember, it's always important for you to know where your character is coming from and where it's going. For example, here you have the tassels, right? So you see, like your line of action should look something that follows this, and that will give you your position of the little tassels of the sack. There you go. And it turns its head, so as it goes up, probably you get something that looks like this. Actually, yeah, there we go. So we got the tassel. This tassel is this one over here. And this tassel shoots up and it's behind the sack right now. It's doing a line that goes around like this. I don't know if you're following me. Like you can't see it right now. So drawing 9 Whoops, cancel. Drawing line would be something that looks like this. All right. We can see a little bit of the tassel. And then this tassel going behind. So you see, following the line of the tassel, this is going behind the sack. And this is coming from, this is going behind, and this is coming from behind. So basically doing something that looks like this, right? I know it looks a little bit confusing, but it's a bit rough, but it makes more sense once in context. So you see. But it's always important to, especially when you're starting out, to follow your line of action. All right, so drawing 10 would be something like this. So you see, I'm trying to make like the sack spin. Always use a lot of construction lines. You can always clean it up later, right? So here, the tassel here is going behind. So you see, you can see the little spinning motion there going. Okay, in this exercise, I'm gonna like, well, how to do it on OpenTunes, but as I said, like you don't need to use OpenTunes to follow the classes. I mean, you can use whatever software you're using. But how to clean up your drawings with vectors, or you can use also raster. So you see, there you go, a little bit spinning, right? So yeah, that's how you go about, right? You get your line of action, you plan ahead your animation, and then you start animating. Along the way, you're gonna get a lot of surprises and stuff that will gonna make you adjust and adapt. So don't think because you plan ahead your animation, you're tied to your plan. That's, I mean, animation is a little bit more intuitive than that. So be ready to basically like adjust on the spot. For example, you see on my position 12 was 1, but once I got there and I was doing the spin, the position looks nothing like it. And why is that? Because I'm paying attention to the flow, to the ebb and flow, and that's where the artistry of being an animator comes in. Being able to adapt and being able to, assess situations. So this is basically the modus operandi, and this is what I got. It's a lot. This jump is a lot simpler. Like it just goes up, coils in, stretches, and then like anticipates the land and drops. and it ends up looking something like this. So you see, but it's the same thing as I was doing that. So you basically, the first thing you're gonna do is uh, do basically like a model sheet or a post sheet of your flower sack, because there's not that much of a modeling here, but it's two masses, right? So these two masses, one's gonna pull the upper mass is gonna pull the lower mass at the beginning of the jump, and then the lower mass is gonna pull the upper mass as it goes down and settles, right? Anticipation, action, reaction. Uh, this applies to basically all animation. Like if you do like a punch, or you do I don't know, like your character is starting up a car and then he grabs like the gear and goes up. You're gonna use anticipation for him to hold like the gear bar. I don't know how you call that. To put like the gear for the car to go. Like that will use anticipation, action, reaction. Like this is very important for you to grasp. I mean, actually, they're all important, but once you get the bouncing ball, which is line of action, squash and stretch, and timing and spacing. Then you get the blades of grass, overlapping action, and follow through. Here is anticipation, action, reaction, and applying the principles we learned on the first two exercises. So for this one, uh, it would be nice if you do like a little background for it, like I did a barn. See, here's just simple 1 point perspective, right? And you can also do a shadow for it, which is something I did here. And you can play with like with your light source, like where it's going. So it's just going to traverse through the camera. Like animating the shadow is very simple. And I cleaned this animation in vector. So this is my rough animation, and that's why I need you to be rough when you're deciding what to animate. Because once you got it down, then you clean it up. In this case, I use a vector based system to clean it up, and I'm not a fan of it, so bear with me. But see, I think I'm manipulated with C. So you see, it's vectors, and that way you can keep like uh, a cleaner line. You can also like affect the thick and thins of your vector line here in Open Tools with this tool. So you see, like you adjust the tolerance. Let me find it first. Here we go. You adjust the size, and then you could adjust the thick and thins of your line. Like if you want to take your time to clean up your animation, and that way you're focusing on your line quality and not really like line quality and movement. Solve the movement first in the rough animation. When you go to your cleanup, then basically you got this different tool set, and it's a different mindset. Like I don't know, like I don't like drawing parallels to comic book production, but RT Bear told me like, yeah, normally when you ink, like it's more art, like you don't pay attention. Like I don't know, cleaning up in animation, like it's a time for you to watch your volumes. So there's a lot of concentration you need to do because basically when you get like shivering lines in animation, it's shoddy cleanup because when you're cleaning up, you really have to be like how thick is the arm, the the sign of the fingers, like whatever it is you're doing. Like it's a time to keep the characters and model is here. So once you get this, you get the shadow and you get the. Let me turn off the rough animation. You got your character here, and I think I did volume shadows on the character. I think I did. Let me see. I think I did. Yeah, there's volume shadows. So okay, this looks like black, and that's normally how you handle shadows because then you apply effects to them. I don't know if I applied effects to it. Let me see. Hmm. Yeah, there we go. So yeah. Oh yeah, like doing those kind of effects, Roy. Like there are plugins for that. Like, 'cause the things like it's really hard to keep it like it's extra work, you know. And there are plugins that will do that for you. The thing is like you need to watch over the trajectory of your shadow for it to look nice. So you see, for example, I added a little transparency, a little bit of blur, but like the chew on the shadow, like I would look for a jagged looking plugin that I don't know where it is in in open tools right now. So it will take me like a little while to find it, but yeah, there are ways to do that kind of stuff, like to make it mold. Normally, I will take a piece of animation like this with the background finish and take it to After Effects or another compositor, and then apply more effects. Like, for example, there you have more like distorting options to, and also you have ways uh, to bend footage and to make it mold. So basically, it's compositor, so it's compositing. So it would be like an extra step. Normally, the animator wouldn't do that. It would be like a compositor or an editor. But yeah, guys, like this is basically what I need you guys to do on the third exercise. So you see, it's anticipation, action, reaction. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hmm. Yeah, it could get larger as the few. It could get smaller as the character like jumps, like goes into the air. Like it could get smaller and then get bigger as it approaches the ground. There's several things that could be done to improve on the on the this animation piece. But as I said, like normally, and I don't know, like I'm very like indie about this, and I'm used to working alone, which is an anomaly. But normally in the studio, you have like dude like groups of people working on different stuff. Like normally, the guy who does the rough animation is not doing the cleanup, and the guys who's animating effects is not animating characters. Like I had to learn to do everything because I live in a country that has no animation industry. So the I am the animation department, which was, I don't want to say detrimental because I know how to do all of it, but yeah, like I know quality suffers when you do everything yourself. But as this is a place to learn and a place to, it's just a matter of giving you pointers of how things go and how they go about. So for example, like the shadows are not going to be in the same. Let me turn off the effects. The shadows are not going to be in the same layer as the animation, because if you screw the shadow and it's in the animation layer, then you screw the animation drawing too. So you do them separately. So those are the kind of the things that you have to keep in mind. Like for example, your cleanup, you don't do it on your rough layer. You do a new layer and then you clean it up. You can choose to use vector or you can use raster. Like I prefer to clean up in raster. Like let me look for an example where I did. Let me save this. Uh, Raster animation. But I gotta look for something that's already out because I can't show uh, things that I've like I'm working on right now because let me see. For example, I think this scene is raster. Yeah, this scene is a raster animation I did for a trailer for my book Tropical Magics, and this is just for the this is raw. Like this is not produced. Like I took this into After Effects to add more effects and blurs and whatnot. So it's very simple. Here, the only thing that's animating is like the little bear, like reacting to the movement of the car, and like the dervishes of sand as they traverse through the desert. And yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like the thing with vector is that it feels unnatural to me working in vector. Like I'd rather clean up in raster and take my time to do it properly in raster, but that's a preference. Like some people do great work in vector. I guess my brain is not rigged for that. But yeah, like there's a really great like work done in vector graphics. So here, for example, it's a little cycle of the car going up and down as it's like, like going over irregular ground. And then like the movement, I use like speed lines to to make it look like it was moving. So we're gonna be doing a lot of like action analysis on, but I don't know if that's gonna get me like hit. but like scenes, like deconstructing scenes, like how they've done it, and yeah, that's something I'm gonna be doing. But I'm gonna do with work I've done so far. Uh, for example, yeah. But this is that's just the rough. Did I had the finished scene? Oh, there we go. To see that this was done so long ago, and I think I lost some artwork here and there. Yeah, for example, this was cleaned up with raster layers, but I wasn't using. This was when I was starting out with this software, so I wasn't using the brushes. So basically, you have a really nice ink brush in this software. So that's something you should take into account. For example, like if you draw normally, you get a line like looks like this, and if you get close, you see it's a little bit pixelated and broken. But you can go here in the raster, and you can get an ink, and this looks way more natural. It behaves better, and it lends itself. Let's put it on 0. So you really go like thick and thin, so it gives you a cleaner line. So that's my preference. But if you guys want to use vector, like you're more than welcome. I'm not gonna be like, no, this is a no vector zone. Like I'm not like that. So yeah, let's go back to the class. Let's see, online classes, scenes, the flower sack, score changes. So yeah, guys, this is what I need you guys to do, and yeah, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. You can follow me on X at. Let me put. You can follow me on X here at Engila. Any questions you have, you can ask them there. I'm planning on making a Discord, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, we're gonna be jamming on Saturday, so the the streaming schedule would be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And hey, what's up, Creators Outlet? We're on the way out. Like I want to keep the classes like streamlined. So if you guys need to go in and practice and just go like the streams are going to be very short in the beginning, and as we get like more people in, they start asking more questions. But I don't want to keep it that long that you can't go back into the video and look for the class. So this these videos are going to be like up all the way up to 40 minutes tops. All right, so okay, guys. So this was the flour sack exercise. I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, if you have any questions, you can reach at me on X, and see you next time, guys. Awesome.